In a quiet, close-knit neighborhood where life moved to the rhythm of laughter and tradition, a storm of beauty and mystery arrived, disrupting the ordinary. Her name was Akila, and she was no ordinary woman. Her beauty was spellbinding, so captivating that men paused mid-step and women whispered in awe. She moved with a grace that seemed almost otherworldly, her every step leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of those who watched. But Akila wasn't just beautiful, she was selective. Her heart did not stir for casual glances or fleeting admirers. No, Akila sought something far greater. Her gaze was fixed on power, influence, and wealth, the qualities she believed could secure her the life she deserved. And as her presence turned heads and stirred desires, one question echoed in the minds of those around her: who would be bold enough and wealthy enough to capture the heart of this enigmatic woman? Stay with me, because this is no ordinary story. What begins as admiration and ambition soon takes a darker turn, a tale of love, greed, and chilling secrets that will leave you questioning how far one might go to chase their desires. In the same vibrant neighborhood that had fallen under Akila's spell, there was a man named John, a man of ambition, charm, and relentless determination. John was a successful car dealer, known for his sharp business acumen and ability to close even the toughest deals. His success didn't come overnight. Years of hard work and unshakable resolve had built him a reputation as one of the most prosperous men in the area. He lived a life of comfort and luxury, but one thing was missing: someone to share it with. The moment John laid eyes on Akila, he knew he had found what he was looking for. Her beauty, grace, and air of mystery captivated him like nothing else. But winning Akila's heart was no easy feat. She wasn't just beautiful, she was discerning, her standards set high. Ordinary gestures wouldn't impress her. John was not a man to back down from a challenge. His pursuit of Akila was nothing short of extraordinary. Day after day, he arrived at her doorstep with tokens of admiration, dazzling jewelry, designer handbags, and bouquets of the finest flowers. He spared no expense, ensuring each gift was more extravagant than the last. At first, Akila seemed indifferent. She accepted the gifts with a polite smile but kept her distance. Her heart remained guarded, her gaze fixed on the life of opulence she dreamed of. But John's persistence never wavered. With every passing week, his efforts grew bolder, his determination shining through in every gesture. It wasn't just the gifts that made John stand out, it was his unwavering resolve. He wasn't just courting Akila, he was showing her that he could provide the life she desired, the luxury and prestige she longed for. Slowly but surely, her walls began to crumble. Finally, after countless attempts and unrelenting dedication, Akila relented. She accepted John's advances, and their relationship blossomed into a whirlwind romance. John had proven himself worthy in her eyes, a man who could match her dreams with his reality. Their union quickly became the talk of the town. Neighbors whispered in admiration, marveling at John's ability to win over the most sought-after woman in the neighborhood. Together, they seemed to embody the perfect fairy tale, a couple destined for a life of glamour and prosperity. But behind the dazzling facade of their relationship lay secrets yet to be uncovered. John's persistence had earned him Akila's love, but at what cost? The answer to that question would soon unravel, casting a shadow over their seemingly perfect union. The day of Akila and John's wedding was nothing short of magical, a celebration fit for royalty. The venue was adorned with vibrant decorations, a kaleidoscope of colors reflecting the joy and opulence of the occasion. Guests poured in by the hundreds, dressed in their finest attire, their laughter and excitement filling the air. Akila stood at the center of it all, radiant in a traditional gown intricately embroidered with gold and jewels. Her presence was mesmerizing, a vision of elegance and beauty that left everyone in awe. John, standing proudly by her side, wore a broad smile, his eyes reflecting the satisfaction of a man who had won the prize he sought. Together, they exchanged vows, sealing a union that seemed to promise nothing but happiness and prosperity. After the wedding, the couple moved into their new home, a grand mansion with sprawling gardens and towering gates that symbolized their status. It was a house that many could only dream of, a testament to John's wealth and their new life of luxury. Akila embraced her role as the queen of this castle, indulging in every luxury her heart desired. Each month, she rode through the neighborhood in a different luxury car, her wardrobe filled with designer clothes, sparkling jewelry, and elegant accessories. Her beauty was matched only by the wealth she wore, a living embodiment of the life she had always envisioned. The women in the neighborhood could only watch in quiet envy. They whispered about her lavish lifestyle, her endless stream of new possessions, and the effortless grace with which she carried herself. Some admired her openly, wishing they could trade places, while others resented the ease with which she seemed to live. Akila, for her part, relished the attention. She was the star of every street, the woman every neighbor wanted to be, and the envy of everyone who caught a glimpse of her life. But beneath this shimmering surface lay the foundation of their wealth, a secret so dark it could unravel everything. Before the wealth and opulence, before the grand wedding and luxurious life, John's story was one of struggle and desperation. After completing his National Youth Service, John entered the harsh reality faced by many young graduates. Armed with dreams and a degree, he sent out countless job applications to companies far and wide. Day after day, he waited, hopeful that an opportunity would come. But the rejection letters piled up, and the phone calls he longed for never arrived. Frustrated and out of options, John realized he couldn't wait any longer. He needed to survive. Wandering one day, he came across a small barber shop and made a bold decision. He asked the owner to teach him the trade. At first, it was humbling work, but John quickly discovered a knack for the craft. His hands moved with precision, and soon, word spread about his skill. Customers began lining up, drawn by his magical touch. For a brief moment, it seemed as though John had found his place, carving out a modest living through hard work and determination. But fate had other plans. One day, an elderly man named El-Haji Salami walked into the barber shop. Salami was unlike any other customer, his presence commanded attention. As John worked, Salami struck up a conversation, casually asking how much John earned. When John humbly admitted his monthly income of 20,000 naira, Salami chuckled, his voice laced with intrigue. "That's barely enough to survive," Salami said, sliding a crisp business card across the counter. "If you're ready to change your life, call me." That evening, John sat alone, staring at the card. His heart wrestled with uncertainty and hope. What could Salami offer? And what would it cost? Desperation won over doubt, and John made the call that would alter his life forever. They arranged to meet in a secluded location, far from prying eyes. John's curiosity grew with every step he took toward this mysterious man. Little did he know, this meeting would lead him down a path darker than he could ever imagine, a path where wealth came at a price too terrifying to comprehend. As night fell, John found himself driving down a lonely, desolate road. The silence of the surroundings was broken only by the hum of his car engine and the faint whispers of doubt in his mind. The headlights pierced through the darkness, illuminating the emptiness ahead, yet the weight of what awaited him was suffocating. At the end of the road, they arrived. Salami stepped out, his face calm and unreadable, and motioned for John to follow. Before them stood a small clearing, lit by the flickering glow of firelight. Shadows danced across the ground as an old woman emerged, her frail hands clutching a black calabash. Her chants began, low, guttural, and incomprehensible. The air grew heavy with an energy John couldn't describe. The flames seemed to rise and fall with her voice, casting eerie shapes in the darkness. John stood frozen, his heart pounding as her words grew louder and sharper. Salami's stern gaze reminded him of the warning, no questions, no interruptions. Then came the terms, chilling and unimaginable. Wealth beyond measure would be his, but only if he fulfilled the ritual's demands. Each month, he would have to consume menstrual blood, a grim offering to secure his fortune. Yet, the curse came with a cruel twist: whoever he married would be condemned to infertility. John's mind raced as terror gripped him. But escape was not an option. The old woman's final words echoed like a verdict: if you leave, you die. Desperation and fear left him with no choice. Trembling, he nodded, his reluctant acceptance sealing the pact. In that moment, John stepped into a world of darkness, a life bound by a ritual too horrifying to abandon and a secret too dangerous to reveal. With the ritual complete, John's life took a dramatic turn. What had once been a struggle to make ends meet became an overnight transformation. Money seemed to flow into his hands as if from an endless source. His once humble existence was replaced by a life of unimaginable luxury. But this newfound wealth came at a price. Each month, John adhered strictly to the terms of the pact. His fortune depended on a disturbing ritual, one that required him to seek out university students, young women he paid generously to procure the unthinkable. These women, driven by the allure of quick money, snuck into hostels under the cover of night, stealing sanitary pads from unsuspecting residents. They would deliver these items to John, who collected them with an unsettling calm, knowing his wealth depended on their delivery. As his wealth grew, so did his appetite for success. John purchased luxury cars, sprawling homes, and extravagant gifts for Akila. His name became synonymous with prosperity, and his presence commanded admiration wherever he went. When he married Akila, John's secret became easier to keep. She unknowingly became his primary source, her monthly cycle fulfilling the dark requirements of the pact. Each month, John carefully carried out the ritual, ensuring the fortune he had built would remain untouched. But while the world saw a man rising to unimaginable heights, the shadows of his choices loomed large. Beneath the surface of his wealth and success lay the chilling truth, a truth that tied his fortune to an unbreakable chain of darkness. Akila's life seemed like a dream come true. Surrounded by wealth and luxury, she embraced every moment of her newfound status. From the gleaming floors of high-end boutiques to the glittering lights of lavish parties, Akila basked in the adoration of those around her. Her days were filled with indulgence, shopping for the finest clothes, adorning herself with sparkling jewels, and stepping out in the latest luxury cars. Wherever she went, heads turned. Neighborhood women watched enviously as she drove by, their whispers trailing in her wake. In her world, there was no room for worry or doubt. Akila was blissfully unaware of the darkness lurking beneath her husband's wealth. She saw only the gifts, the comfort, and the admiration, never questioning the source of their fortune. Children, too, were far from her mind. Immersed in her material pursuits, Akila found fulfillment in the life she had crafted. For her, the endless luxuries and attention were enough, or so she thought. The shadows of her husband's secret remained hidden, allowing her to live in a fragile bubble of blissful ignorance. One day, as Akila approached her favorite salon, she overheard hushed voices, a conversation not meant for her ears. "She's so beautiful, but what's the point without children?" one woman whispered. "Exactly," another chimed in, her tone biting. "All that money, all those cars, and nothing meaningful to show for it." The words cut through Akila like a blade. She paused, the weight of their judgment settling over her. For the first time, the glittering luxury that surrounded her felt hollow. Returning home, Akila stared out at the grandeur she had once cherished. But now, it seemed incomplete. A new longing had awakened within her, a desire for something money couldn't buy, the laughter of children to fill the silence of their grand home. That evening, she confronted John. Her voice was steady, but her eyes brimmed with determination. "John," she began, "I want us to have children. Let's visit a doctor, find out what's wrong, and make this dream a reality." John's reaction was far from what she had expected. His expression darkened, and a flicker of something unrecognizable crossed his face. Without a word, he stormed out of the house, leaving Akila alone with her thoughts, and a growing sense that her perfect life was not as it seemed. As Akila sits alone in the silence of her opulent home, staring out at a world that now feels incomplete, questions linger in the air. What lies beneath John's anger? And how far will he go to protect his dark secret? Stay tuned for the next part of this gripping tale, where the shadows deepen and truths begin to unravel. If you've enjoyed this story so far, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring more of these timeless tales to life. And as the old African proverb reminds us, the truth may walk slowly, but it will always arrive.